That's the mindset we have to have, that we are programmed to fail. Not that we are, I am failure. No, you're not failure. Nobody's failure. Everybody is power, divinity, and are here to have dominion over all things and have prosperity, extreme peace, extreme wealth, whatever you call that. That's what you're here for. You're not here to live in a depressed mindset. That's not what the purpose God put you here for. That is a man-made generated purpose when you feeling like you're not good enough. And the sad part about it, our religious structures have programmed us with that. Sometimes you're gonna find yourselves in a situation where you feel like you're being done wrong, but actually you're being done right because it's setting you up for the bigger opportunity. So always keep your integrity. Always. Never let your integrity go by the wayside, because integrity is all you got. Your reputation is all you got. And yes, being truthful and honorable will cause you to lose something short term only. And you lost that because it was protecting you for something bigger. And from that, I mean, I got lifelong connections in that community. You know, sometimes we talk, hey, Akeem, what's up? What you doing? Blah, blah, blah. You make connections. People who know my reputation, they call me, hey, this guy, he's dependable. And that's what you want to be. You want to be dependable to your people, to everyone. When you have problems, and they could be extreme, that is a great opportunity for you to really practice transcending that situation and work out not allowing it to bring you down consciously. That's the mission. That's the mission, to be able to navigate all of the challenges of this world that it may bring you and still be able to walk over it like Christ walked on water. Still be able to allow yourself to be sacrificed for the good of mankind. I'm not saying go, allow people to nail you to a stake or anything like that. What I'm saying is, spiritually, even though these people, you might feel from a fleshly level that they deserve condemnation, you cannot condemn. Because once you don't allow yourself to pass judgment on them for their wrongdoing, and you look at it as simply as, forgive them, Father, they know not what they do. And honestly, so people are so indoctrinated into the opposer mindset, into the devil mindset, that what they do, although it may be wrong to some and most people, they really don't see it as wrong. They really can't see it because their mind is so clouded in that vibration that in that world they feel justified. You just so happen to be a casualty of their ignorance to their true divinity. All right, peace, peace. What's up? Peace, prosperity, extreme wealth to everyone. Good morning. Or grand rising. Some people don't like to use good morning because that word to them is a spell. And it could be if you're in that mindset of thinking that it has another meaning. It's really the intentions behind your thoughts that is the power. Like if you think, hang on, let me. I was making sure my sound was good. So, turn this down a little bit. If you in the mindset of thinking something negative, it's just that conscious thought of the negative intention or misintention that you're thinking about that brings about that reality. See, you might be in fear of something happening to you and you constantly thinking about it. You don't want it to happen, but you're in fear. What am I going to do if this happens? And you create all kind of visions in your mind of the worst case scenario. And then the worst case scenario happens. And then you're like, how did this happen? I didn't want this to happen. Yes, you did. Nothing happens to you that you don't want. Yes, you did, because you thought about it. You dwelt on it. You put that energy out there. You accepted the contract of that manifestation. And see, and this is how we got programmed to fail, because they deliver to us so many, we get delivered so much negative programming that before we know it, we're right in the middle, in the deep end of negativity, and before we even know it. I'm sure some of you, this has happened, right? You just pick up your phone and you start scrolling, then some catchy title, woman gets owned, man gets owned by this and this and that, some negative title. Oh wow. Because you're programmed, it's like your mind is programmed to automatically connect to the negativity. Your hard drive is programmed, you see. And you have to, once you recognize that your hard drive is programmed, which is your consciousness, your brain, you have to do, only way to get rid of it is to become a new person, meaning erase all that stuff, do away with all the temptation of listening to, watching, listening, and being around negativity. I hear people talk about, I don't like negativity, blah, blah, blah. And then if you watch them very closely, they are definitely in a negative place, because it's like anything. A person that's not in a negative place won't even bring it up. It won't be a part of their consciousness. It's almost like a person who's not a thief won't assume someone stole from them automatically. Like I don't think, they might be missing some. I don't mean their first thought won't be that someone stole, because they're not in that consciousness. So when people, yeah, man, I hate negativity and this and that. The mere thought, or even having that conversation about you hate it and this and that, placing the judgment on the negativity, is in a way negative. So we have to, in the mind, don't even think of such a thing. Don't even participate in even having a conversation about how you don't want to be around negativity, or you don't like negative people. Don't even have that conversation. Just, okay, that's not something I want to participate in, because that's where the do not judge thing comes in. People are allowed to have their own experience, whether you think it's negative or not. They are allowed. They have the right to live their life the way they want. And it's not our job. Oh, that person is this and that. No, you got to be like, oh, okay, I don't want to be, oh, hey, have a good day, and move on. And put your mind in a place where you want it to be. See, these things are very subtle, and we get caught. We think, become self-righteous. I'm not a negative person, you negative, and that's negative, and this. And we become self-righteous, and next you know, wait a minute, because to say something opposing about something is negative in itself. So we have to be yin and yang. Do not participate. See it? I don't want that. It's like you go to a restaurant, right? You don't particularly like the food the restaurant cooks, right? You don't go in there, hey, your food's terrible. No, you say, well, I don't participate. I go over somewhere else where I like the food and don't even think about that place. That's the power. Don't even bring it into your consciousness how bad that thing is. Dismiss it, rebuke it, get rid of those thoughts. Today's title is It's a Secret. What's a secret, Akeem? What are you talking about? What's the secret you talking about? What is the secret? What's the big deal? The secret is you have ideas, you have goals, you have things you want to be, you want to go, that you're trying to accomplish. You have inspirations that you got in your private time, in that secret place. You went in and closed the door, and you don't necessarily, you went into a room, you just closed your eyes, or you just went into the depths of your mind, and a inspiration came out of something you want to accomplish, some good that you want to happen to you. That's the secret. And why is it a secret? Because the moment You open your mouth and tell someone or share it with someone outside of that personal encounter with yourself and the divine mind, God, the divinity or God within you, it's not a secret anymore. But it should remain a secret. Why? Because people didn't get that same inspiration you got, and they will not appreciate it fully like you will. They're not gonna love it, or they're not gonna adopt it because it wasn't their idea. It wasn't their own inspiration. So all they're gonna do is possibly tell you what you think and how you could do something. You got the whole idea from A to Z. Boom, this is what I'm gonna do. Boom, when you're feeling great, you're inspired, and then you know, we've all done this, right? You inspired by this great idea, and you go, I want to tell somebody. I want to tell somebody this, and then you tell them, and then you, in mid conversation, you realize you're not getting the feedback that you would like. You're not getting what you want to hear from them. That's the real truth. You're not hearing the enthusiasm. Why are they not enthusiasm? Well, they might be haters, maybe, but it's just this simple. It's not their idea. It wasn't for them. They didn't get the divine call. You did. So it's none of their business. So if you really want to manifest your goals and we go somewhere, it's a good idea to keep these things secret. And I know people in relationships, well, we should be able to tell each other everything because you're my wife, you're my husband, and you're my boyfriend, you're my girlfriend, you this and that. That's unrealistic. Everybody deserves or has the right to have thoughts to themselves. And it's okay, if you have that type of relationship where you can share things and it not be a problem for you. Because some people are just not ready to hear certain ideas you have. I'm not talking about ideas of doing something wrong. Let's be clear. Because some people got devilish thoughts. They want to do things uh behind their wives or their husbands' backs that are not good, that's dishonest and straight up treacherous. That's not the stuff I'm talking about. I'm talking about ideas that uh may bring wealth to your home, may bring peace, love. I'm talking about those type of ideas. Not an idea that could bring hurt to a situation. Let's be clear, because some people say, "Why you gotta outline that?" Listen, the mind of people sometimes is wicked, and they have wicked thoughts that they want to enact, and all they need is one little thing to give them an excuse to be wicked. But then they have to deal with that because that's their the universe always pays you back what you do. You get 10 times. You will get 10 times back whatever you put out. And sometimes more. You're gonna get it. So whatever, good or bad, whatever you want to call it, you're getting it back. So be prepared. So if you decide to do something dishonest, deceitful, treacherous, just know and be okay and that you're gonna get that. You're gonna receive that payment. The bill comes due all the time. I just want to put that out there. But back to it's a secret. These powerful inspiration, God came to you. Right? When Christ was gonna be coming to the world, God came to Mary. This is the allegory. This is what came to her. That's a story really about all of us. That God comes to you and impregnate you with the ideas, the truth, the path you need to be on. Because what did Jesus represent? The truth, the way, the light that shines in the darkness. And that's what an idea. It's a light that shines in the darkness of you trying to figure things out. That's what it is. So when she got that, God came straight to her. Hey, this is what you're gonna have, and this is what you need to call this great idea. You need to call him Christ. Actually, the subscription says Emmanuel, because it means my people are with me. God is with us. I think that's what that means. God is with you. There's the idea. And later on, after some time, Joseph got wind and said, wait a minute, how you, that ain't my baby. We about to get divorced. I'm out of here. Then God came to him in a secret place and said, no, the baby she carrying is a great idea that's going to deliver you and your people. So keep it a secret. Don't go around telling people, hey, my wife pregnant and it ain't mine. Be quiet. You see? And that brings me to another thought. It brings me to a thought that we need to really keep in mind. On these journeys, yes, we do get these ideas, but at some point you will be given help. We don't do these things alone. You do need a team, a good team, a righteous team, a spiritual team. We don't do these things alone. See, Mary got the great idea, but she didn't deliver that great idea alone. She had Joseph and other family around. Then people came from around the world when they heard. You see? But in the beginning, what I'm talking about, in the beginning stages of your great idea, you need to keep it a secret until the great idea starts to manifest itself. And then you have no choice. Hey, this is what's going on. And then when you do choose to disclose it, be very careful and discreet on who you disclose it to. If you have issues with people in the past that when you shared ideas with them and you didn't get positive feedback, then why keep going back to these people to try to convince them about your great ideas? Leave those people alone and go talk to how Christ did it. Christ went, after a while, his family knew how he came about, and they still didn't honor him as the Son of God. They knew. And he still was no big deal. That's just old Christ. He got here by immaculate conception, but so what? Anybody can do that. You know what I'm saying? When you try to keep it real and you really think about these things in depth, or you're like, the Bible, they wasn't even around when he was going through his greatest tribulation. With his mama and only mama's always there. And Mary, the harlot. His apostles took off, right? Based on, if you look at it from a physical point of view, but on a deeper, more esoterical, deeper level, when his apostles took off, that represented Jesus Christ defeating all of the negative things he needed to defeat in order to be sacrificed. So all those apostles are all mental projections or things that Christ had to deal with to get to the point of being sacrificed, laying down his life for man. That's from a spiritual, more deeper level, but on a physical level, they were out of there. Like, I can't go through this. You on your own, buddy. So that's why the great ideas that you have must remain a secret in the beginning stages. Because you must only hear from that divine voice within you, the God in you. That's the only voice you got to hear from. And then once everything is put together and the plans all laid out, then the world becomes to know. Jesus Christ was a great idea, but it took him 30 years to get to the point where he was able to make an effect and change on the world's mindset. 30 years. And then when he came back and told them the truth, they didn't, the ones that wanted to remain, keep things the same, didn't want to believe it. They believed it, but they didn't want the people to believe it. So they cast doubt, they cast hate on them. And this is how people operate today. People know that you have divine calling on you. They have a divine calling too. They just choose not to work in it. But they know you have the power to manifest that divine calling. See, in order to manifest a divine calling, you have to give up some things. You got to become a new person. And some of these, like described, they had physical things that they was in love with. They was in love with the adoration of the people. They was in love with the money they was getting. They was in love with the acceptance, how people looked up to them. That these lower nature of desires that they had, they couldn't let it go. Because to receive real power, you have to let go everything in this 3D realm in order to get to the higher realm, the higher stages of consciousness. That's why the body will go one day in its time. Because now the consciousness is ready to move on to some other level of existence. There's a couple things I wanted to read. Psalms 91, whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. See, you have to put your trust in the God within you 100% to get 100% divine spiritual results. You can't be doing it 50-50 and expect 100%. Can't. This is why I teach everything you do, from your work to how you transact commerce, must be done in the refuge, in the fortress of the God that you claim you worship or you involved in. That's where your trust should be. These government entities are doing it all the time. They put the symbols on the money. They put the symbols on the building. They're showing you who they worship. They're acting in there to the God they believe in. And this is why they're so successful. Because they got you to believe in them, and you get what you get, and they're taking your spiritual energy and using it to their advantage. Period. And the other one was, this has a lot to do with, and I said this, and when thou prayest, thou should not be as the hypocrites are. But they love to pray standing in the synagogues and on the corners of the street, and they may be seen by men. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. See, when you do everything publicly and you're looking for public acceptance, that's your reward. That's all you get. See, when I tell people to create YouTube videos to build their business, and I tell you, don't look for the reward of the likes and the subscribers. Don't look for that. Look for the reward that comes after that, meaning the reward that you're doing the work and the calling that you were meant to do. All of the adoration is going to come later. All of the accolades, all the powers come later. What Christ had to go through all of that, right? And he was popular. People started to listen to him. Great crowds of people listened to him. Thousands while he did his teaching. That's how powerful he was. But then now the whole world, most of the world is into his teachings. And I'm speaking from a Christian point of view because that's what I was raised in. I always say that. But this Christ that I'm talking about walked in other faiths too, and he had different names. He had Krishna, Buddha, all these different gods we think are different or separate from what we think is Christianity. They're not really separate when you study their teachings. They're all saying the same thing. They're not saying anything different. See, it's the churches and these hypocrites that the Bible talk about that want you to think it's different, because they're looking for you to come to them for your spiritual information and not go within yourself. So they got you thinking that Hinduism, Buddhism, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, all these things are so different. Even Wiccan. They want you to think that's all different. Akeem, Wiccan, isn't that witchcraft? That's what they say, is witchcraft. But when I studied it, it didn't. It was saying the same thing. Egyptian Book of the Dead, saying the same thing. See, this is, you know what you know when you study to get to know what you know. See, most people are working off assumptions and what someone else told them. See, I know what I read. See, other religions will tell you that's witchcraft, that's evil. Because see, they want you to look to them. I'm the way, and my thought process, what I'm teaching is right, 100%. And what you're teaching is against God. When there's scripture, even in the scripture says all things. Let's see what it says. See, the scriptures do tell you the truth. The scriptures tell you the truth. It's when we go off the reservation and start listening to all these so-called biblical scholars. What is that? All things. I always have to, I don't remember. Okay, so I think it's in Corinthians. Y'all know the scripture I'm talking about. All things is good. It says it. And for reproving and teaching, something to that effect. Let's see. I'll have to look it up. But if we go with the ideology that everything was created by God, does God make a bad thing? See, once we start looking at everything as something to learn from instead of something to condemn when we think it's wrong or right. See, one thing that's maybe hindering some people or hindering you is because you are choosing, there's a person who's giving you good information that could really take you to help you get to the next level, but you won't listen to them because they say it a certain way. They didn't say it to tickle your ear. See, to me, that's limiting yourself. They don't look a certain way. They don't have a certain degree. I'm not listening to them. I had someone tell me, like, I told them when they asked me what I did, and I told them I do it sometimes. I said, I help people put their properties in trust and stuff like that. And right away, they want to know what my degree is. See, to them, being able to do all that stuff, you need a degree from some man-made institution. See, my degree comes from the scriptures. That's what my degree is. Because what those schools are telling you, the Bible is telling you the same things in a lot of respects. And even in other faiths, their manuscripts, their texts are telling you to do the same thing the schools are teaching in a lot of regards. I mean, the Bible deals with debt, what not to be, right? Be the creditor and not the borrower. Don't be a debtor. Don't go into debt. The Bible tells you that. The Bible teaches you how to invest and what to do, how to go make money. It says it. You don't really. Do you really need these people to tell you something that God has already given you a way to do it? No, is education bad? No, it's not. I mean, there's some things I have to go, like to learn how to play the guitar. I had to go to someone who knew how to play the guitar to teach me how to play the guitar, right? So if I want to be a lawyer, I have to go under their guidelines to do all that stuff. If I want to go practice in their courtrooms, right? But just because someone doesn't have a certain credential doesn't make them disqualified from helping you. And this is why people stay in certain positions, because their idea of success is dysfunctional. Like I told y'all many times before, I've seen millionaires, no high school diplomas, many working down there at Wall Street, commodities exchange, making money. All they need to know is that skill on how to trade the markets. And really trading the market is based on making right decisions based on where you think the market is going to go. You never know. It's a gamble. But they made money. They know how to make more money. I had a broker tell me I make more losing trades, meaning he make more losing trades than he make winning trades. But his winning, the amount of money he make off the winning trades, the amount of money he makes off the winning trades outweighs the ones he lose on. So he has big gains and small losses. You see? When they have a loss, they know they're going to have a loss. They're going to fail somewhere, but they want them to be small. And when you make the gains, you want them to be bigger than the losses. So when it all washes out, I've made money versus the losses. And guess what? Now all goes on a tax return that I lost this money. Right? And they get to write that up, the losses off, and pay taxes on the gains. See, big success means big risk, according to what the world teaches, right? Big divine success means you have to get rid of who you was yesterday to be someone different today. If let's just say you want to get rid of some health conditions. So you got to look at what your diet was during that time and what it is now, and stop eating those things that because you most likely the diet is what's causing the health issues. So you can't eat the same things you ate yesterday today and expect your health to change. Likewise with success, you can't have success with doing the same things that you did before. Like when I talk about keeping it a secret, stop telling people what you're about to do. Just go do it. Let them see you doing it. Hey, what are you doing? This is what I'm doing. When I started when I really look at things that I'm really successful at, and I should have taken an inventory, a real audit of and I started paying attention. The things that I'm really successful at is the things I kept to myself for long periods of time, and then I revealed them once they was in full swing. Like when I started the radio station, I didn't tell anybody I had a radio station for 3 years. And then when I really start working it, I didn't really tell a whole lot of people. We started it and I didn't break it out. Then as it got popular, I mentioned it. Oh, what's the radio station? I give it to them, and they may go listen, they may not. I'm talking about family members and people that are, I consider friends. And that's another thing we have to look at. We want, it'd be nice if your family and your friends supported what you're doing, but don't expect it. That's why they showed you, he was in there healing folks and preaching, doing all that. And somebody, hey, your family's outside. And she said, my family is the ones who do the will of my Father, meaning those the ones who have the same mindset as mine. That's the family. That's my spiritual family. He didn't condemn me. He said, listen, I'm doing my thing here. I'm not stopping what I'm doing. And this is what's happening to a lot of people's success. They stop their projects, their things that they're moving towards, because they're trying to please family who is not really supporting them. Barely listen to what you have to say. But we'll stop and sacrifice time. And all they're doing is being a distraction. See, Christ stayed on his mission. When he was on his mission, he made time for his family, of course, but not while he was working. And you got to be someone different. Oh, you got to do this. Your family is okay. I've never seen where people have been too successful, putting other things first before their progress. All right. Let's see who's online. All right. We got Indie Circle says, peace, my brother. Peace back to you. DJ B. Dunn said, peace to the gods. Also said, peace, love, prosperity, and extreme wealth to everyone. Church of Infinite Abundance says, peace. Hindsight Radio says, peace. That was me, of course. Theoretically, God said, what's good? Everything's good. Life is good. Life is good. Your cup runneth over. I went on a walk with the dog. I hadn't done it in a while. And I did a live because I started off talking about it's, keep your ideas to yourself till they fully manifest. And then I was thinking about things that I was grateful for. And then I was like thinking of all these things, but I am grateful for just being here. My cup, and I had in my mind envision a cup. If I was to pour in everything, because I was thinking about my cup running over, right? And when I look at it, my cup is full. Now, when it starts to spill over, that's the abundance. It's full. And guess where it's full at? That I'm alive and I can breathe. Everything else is overflow, excess. The fact that I'm here and exist and to be helped others, that's makes my cup full. See, some of us look at the glass half empty. Oh, all I got is this and all I got that. No, you got everything. Well, I don't have enough money. What do you mean? Did you eat this morning? Do you have food in the refrigerator? You got gas in the car? You got a source where money is coming in? See, if we start being thankful just for the fact that we're here and we're able to exist and that we have time to be loving and caring, that cup is full. It's full. Because you know how much work it takes to stay that way? When people challenge you, that's work. That's a full cup right there. Everything else is extras. Man, we got it made when you really look at it. Mayor said, morning, sir. Good morning to you. Back to you. Peace to the God. Much light to all. Lake and Apple. Corinne. Happy Sunday. Says happy Sunday. Indie Circle. Romans 8:28. He said. Yeah. I actually had it up. And we know that God works all things together for the good of those who love him, who are called according to his purpose. For those God foreknew, he also predestined to be conformed to the image of his son. For those God foreknew, he foreknew you. So you're predestined so that he will be the firstborn among many brothers, and those he predestined, he also called. Those he called. He also justified. Those he justified, he also glorified. Thank you. Peace to God's much light to all. That's everyone. All right, it's 10:42. I'm going to leave y'all with a word of, if you got something you've been putting off, get on it. It's not too late. It's September the 15th, month halfway gone already. Let's get it done, man. We can do it. Your cup is full, I know it, but it's full of good things. Full of good things. Always look at issues as an opportunity to elevate yourself. And with that being said, peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to everyone. And remember, you are not a failure. That's the mindset we have to have, that we are programmed to fail. Not that we are, I am failure. No, you're not failure. Nobody's failure. Everybody is power, divinity, and are here to have dominion over all things and have prosperity, extreme peace, extreme wealth, whatever you call that. That's what you're here for. You're not here to live in a depressed mindset. That's not what the purpose God put you here for. That is a man-made generated purpose when you feeling like you're not good enough. And the sad part about it, our religious structures have programmed us with that.